My name is Derek, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about how to repair a no service issue on an iPhone. Now, I've already addressed a quick fix to this repair, but there are a small portion of the repairs that will require a little bit more in-depth repair. In the previous video, we went over how to simply reflow a board using a board heater to correct for this issue, as a lot of the times with a hard impact, something that breaks the screen or the back glass, the frame, a lot of the time the newer iPhones have the tendency to somewhat split the top from the bottom board, therefore losing like cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and a good portion of the time the solution is simply to heat up the board and let the solder joints reform. But the other issue that comes with that separation is when pads get pulled, and I'm talking specifically about the pads that hold the top board to the bottom board. The solder joints, instead of cracking themselves, might pull the pad physically off of the surface of the logic board. Today I'm going to be quickly going over one of the many ways to fix these pads. My preferred method. It's quick, simple, and we're going to talk a little bit about the issues that come with doing it other ways. So if we look here, we've got a bunch of missing pads. If we put a little bit of alcohol on them, you can see kind of the traces that they're attached to. We just need something. We need to tin the tips, and I'll use this one as an example because it's kind of there already. This one right here in the middle. What I've done is I've got solder on these. I need to still go in and get better solder on those, but what I'm going to do is gently remove this top surface here. So it could just be flux, it could be a little bit of the top, but I'm going to get down to where that solder is now flush. We'll take our pad rebuilder here. What I'll do is I'm going to put a teeny bit of solder paste there. Grab the iron. And I'm just going to kiss it a little bit, get some solder on there. Not a lot, just a little bit. And we'll carefully peel this guy up. Flip him over so that the solder is facing down. And then I'm going to pin it in place so it doesn't move. And then we'll go and touch it with the iron. Now it's not going anywhere. So now what we'll do is we'll take our, and I can do all the others now, right? I before cleaning it up, but just so you guys can see how I do it, I'm just gonna clean the area. So we'll clean the area of all flux. Okay. And we'll thoroughly dry it. We'll take a little bit of UV mask. That's enough. I'm going to go around the edge. I'm going to put a little bit more. Just like that. And we want we want it to kind of go around it, kind of grab onto the edges, just like that. And then we'll cure it with the UV light. But what we're looking for is we're looking for the UV mask to kind of go under, but kind of hold on to the outside edge, so it doesn't want to move when we go to solder it. So now that it's cured, we'll come back in. Needs a little bit more time to cure, so I'm going to go cure it again. It's probably a little too fast. It's still soft. We need to get a little harder. But then we'll clear up the top. You see the orange stuff? We're going to go and we're going to scrape through it. Okay, that way we have a pad that we know is making contact because there was solder down below. And now it's on there, so it's not going to move. and it shouldn't even lift if we ever need to separate these boards again. So you can see here, for example, there's 3 more right there. They're kind of in line with the others. They're a teeny bit smaller, but I wanted really to hold on to something, but they're all making solid contact with both below. So not all of these may need to be rebuilt, but I'm gonna just rebuild them because it doesn't take me too long, especially if I'm doing all at the same time. I've got a few more over here I think I need to rebuild. But yeah, just so you guys can get an idea. One of the issues that I see with regards to repairing pads when it comes to a different technique is using a hot air gun, for example, to install the pad, which if done properly is completely fine. The issue is applying too much heat. Sometimes throughout the process of using a rework station, you can heat up the board so much that the solder melts under components that have underfill, in which case you get squeeze out, which can inevitably short out the device. You could potentially as well float the CPU depending on where your heat is at, and that can cause issues, especially if you try to inject power into the board. This can result in a completely dead phone, where even a reballing of the CPU isn't going to fix it. This method that I show, using a soldering iron as the only form of heat to fix the pads, is my preferred method for that and many other reasons. If there's something that you do different when you repair pads, specifically these pads between logic boards, leave it in the comments below. If you find this type of content useful, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks a ton for watching. We'll see you in the next video.